It's on the door now. 9-ish.
So the web that we went down, tracking the recent draft pick trades in the top 10 since 2011. Now, when you set me down this path, Jeremy, what was the original thought?
The original thought was that I wanted to prove a point that I've been trying to make for a long time. Trading down is almost never a good idea. Works sometimes, but you better be a really good drafting team. You know what tends to work out? When you see a guy in the top 10 and you go, hey, I want that guy. Hey, I want that guy. Let's go get that guy. I'm usually a fan of that. Oh, they give up 5 picks. I don't care. 2 of them didn't make the damn roster. And go get your guy. I am always in favor of, if you are dead committed on a guy, go get your guy. The Atlanta Falcons with Julio Jones, the Chiefs with Pat Mahomes, Bills with Josh Allen. If you're dead sold on a guy, go get your guy. I don't give a fuck what it costs. I don't care if it costs you 5 picks. We talk about the Ditka deal with Ricky Williams, how that was the worst trade in the history of sports. Right. You know why? Because Ricky Williams wasn't that good. If Ricky Williams had been Marshall Faulk, I think we would look at that deal slightly differently.
I mean, that's very true, but it doesn't always work for a ninja, right? I mean,
It works the vast majority of the time.
I don't know. I mean, there are times where teams will go up to get their guy, and they would have just been as well off to stay where they were.
All right, give me an example of that.
Well, I mean, Robert
You're the
Griffin
one that went
III.
beautiful mind there, John Nash. So
Robert Griffin III is the biggest one.
And if he hadn't gotten hurt, that would have worked out. Because, hey, guess what? They made the playoffs with him as a rookie. He was Rookie of the Year in a class with Andrew Luck. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't forecast that a guy's going to get hurt, especially not when he got hurt doing something that's not what we thought he would get hurt doing. Stephen Tao said the Bears on Mitch Trubisky. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Yeah,
that one's coming. That's you remember that line? It don't always work for a ninja. That's the Judy Star.
The Rams going up to 1 to get Jared Goff in 2016.
Hey, did they go to a Super Bowl?
They did.
Oh, okay, then shut the fuck up. If that's your example of, hey, this didn't work, they're the Rams. How many Super Bowls have they been in?
Where's Jared Goff now? How has that gone?
Did he yield Matt Stafford? Okay. I think it worked out just fine. I don't think the Rams are sitting around boo-hooing that they didn't. I don't remember who the picks were in that deal. But I guarantee you they're not upset that they didn't wind up with Corey Davis. Love you, Corey.
Right.
Can't wait to have your jersey. 84, JETS.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's what the team was able to do with the picks that they got. I mean, in the Jared Goff deal, the Tennessee Titans were able to turn that into Jack Conklin, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, and Jonnu Smith.
Hey, how many Super Bowls have they been to? How many Super Bowls have the Rams been to? Okay, scoreboard. I'm an X's and O's kind of guy. There's one winner and 31 losers every year. But if you're going to be a loser, it's really nice to be the best loser.
Okay.
Which the Rams did. Oh, they got Derrick Henry. Cool. How many running backs are there in the NFL? About 906?
Yeah, how many of them ran for 2,000 yards last year?
And how many playoff games they win?
You're not wrong.
I'm well aware I'm not wrong. I sent you down this rabbit hole. Just remember that.
Oh, I know
I've been down this rabbit hole for years. I've written an article on this every year for the last 5 years. This is not news to me.
Right.
I'm not too afraid to believe.
Okay. Sam Darnold.
Oh.
Sam Darnold. That's another one.
Well, here's the thing. You do have to put pieces around a guy. I still believe in Sam Darnold. However, when I looked at what the Jets gave up to get him, got a little, maybe we should put a little nipper in this cup of coffee this morning.
I mean, unless you're going to go down the path of, well, Sam Darnold was bad enough to get us the number 2 pick in this draft, so we get Zach Wilson. If you're going to go that path, then come on.
And we got 3 picks back. My wife just said you're so low on Derrick Henry. It's not that I'm low on him. What position does he play?
Running back.
There you go.
Did Jeremy take running backs in the first round?
No, Jeremy doesn't take running backs in the first round.
Name me the 3 best running backs in the NFL right now. Oh, let's play this game. Name me the 3 best running backs in the NFL.
The 3 best running backs in the NFL? Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook.
3rd round pick, 2nd round pick.
Dalvin Cook was the 2nd round pick? Damn, I didn't remember that. Derrick Henry.
They're all 2s. I feel like you can find, I'll be honest with you, I look at this draft class, I think I could find 10 starting running backs in this class. One of them's not Chuba Hubbard. That's the guy. I get asked about him a lot. Oh, by the way, I want to tell you, this is a fun little aside that I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I have to say this because I've said it in comments on our YouTube videos about 9,000 times. Of the 5 major analysts, Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, there's another one who I'm blanking on. How many first-round picks do they have in their current mocks right now? Kevin Vick said CMC, by the way. That doesn't fit my narrative. That's why I ignored you.
The fact that he was taken 8th overall, that doesn't really help.
Yeah, that didn't fit my narrative, so that's why I ignored you. It's not that I didn't see it. I don't like that one.
Right.
Saquon Barkley, stop that. There are 32 picks in the first round. How many different players do the 5 major analysts have in the first round?
How many different
players? This is just 5 mock drafts. You can only have 32 guys.
I'm going to guess 42.
You're too low. It's 47.
Dang.
So all of these people that keep telling me, Landon Dickerson won't be there at 56 or 57 for the Seahawks, there's only 32 picks in the first round. There are 45 guys currently projected to go in the first round, which means, I don't know how good you are at math. I'm not into the doggy coin and shit. Yeah. So I'm not great with math. But 45 minus 32 equals a leftover of 13, which means there's going to be a lot of talented guys that go in the second round.
Yeah. You ain't wrong. All right, so do we have? Do you have all of the graphics ready to go?
I have the ones through 2017.
Okay.
You sent me the most nonsensical. There were arrows. I think there was a puppy in one.
Like I told you.
There was a lot of emojis. Tanks just discovered emojis, and there were a lot of those. There was a poop.
Emojis.
I saw a poop.
There are no emojis.
I didn't know what to do with the poop, so I just took it right out of there.
Not cool enough for emojis. All right, let's start it out. 2011. 2011, you got the Atlanta Falcons traded up to 6 to get Julio Jones. Cleveland, in return, got 26, 59, 124, a first rounder in the 2012 draft, and a 4th rounder in the 2012 draft.
Now, let's talk about who those became. Do them in order, because I have a sound effect for all of them.
All right, so Cleveland ended up getting the 26th pick. Then they used that pick
No, not down that rabbit hole. Tell me who the picks they got were. That's all I care about.
Oh, the picks
for
they
now.
got were.
It becomes more relevant later.
Okay, Phil Taylor, Greg Little, Owen Marisic, Brandon Whedon, and then they included the 4th pick to trade up to 3 to get Trent Richardson.
Yep. This is the trade that started me down the rabbit hole of I would trade up every opportunity I got if there was a guy that I was all the way in on.
Yeah. Cleveland got nothing. I mean, they got Phil Taylor, who had 1 good year. He was an all-rookie, and then obviously injuries played a major part in his downfall. But then Greg Little, who ended up having not even 2,000 yards on his career with the Cleveland Browns. We all know the Brandon Whedon story. And how that worked out. And we're all fully aware of the Trent Richardson story.
Yeah, he's currently a great running back in Mexico. Literally.
What?
Yeah, literally. He's playing in a football league in Mexico.
No way.
I'm serious as a heart attack. Yeah, he's a running back for a team in Mexico. It's like the Guadalajara Chihuahuas or some shit. Same thing is, I didn't make that up. That's like the team name. He's playing for, literally, Google Trent Richardson. You will see it.
This can't be true.
It's 100% true.
I'm doing it right now.
The jersey's green as hell. That's all I can tell you. His jersey is super green, and he still looks like fat Trent Richardson. But now he's playing in a league with much less athletic-looking humans than he used to. Oh, it's a thing.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's a thing. I didn't make it
lying. He is not lying.
Yeah, I didn't make this up. He's actually playing.
Yeah.
Trent Richardson has bounced around so many football leagues that he went to a country where there are two meanings for the word football.
The former Alabama All-American running back and number 3 overall selection in the 2012 NFL Draft, set to join his 4th professional football league. This was 2 months ago. As Caudillos de Chihuahua of Fútbol Americano de Mexico have announced the addition of Richardson. All right. Well, I've learned something brand new today. That there is an American Football League in Mexico. Interesting.
Trent Richardson did too when his agent called and said, I got you a deal. You just hop on a plane. I took care of everything.
Right.
And then he flew over that border wall and went, uh-oh. Spadudios. I like where this is headed.
This also, as you might expect, starts the trend of Cleveland can't do anything. Or they have been such a dumpster fire that they lose every trade they do, no matter whether they're trading up or trading down. It's hard for me to. I'm not discounting your take that I would trade up if I got the guy. If I think I got an All-Pro, trade up every time.
Every time.
Unless I'm Cleveland.
You will by the end of this. You 100% will by the end of this. Like I said, I've written this article every year for the last 5 years.
All right, then,
this is the first year that I didn't have a new, fun, spicy hot take on why you should do that.
In that same draft, there was another trade in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville traded up to 10 to get Blaine Gabbert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in return, the Washington Redskins got the 16th pick. They turned that into Ryan Kerrigan. And then they got Leonard Hankerson, Roy Hillou, Dejan Gomes, and Maurice Hurt.
Yeah, they traded the pick for it became Ben Aguilana. They played in the league for a long time, including for my Jets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know why that one didn't work out? It's really simple. Because you traded up for a need, not because you were sold on a talent. Mm-hmm. Anybody that tells you they were sold on Blaine Gabbert's a damn fool. Flat out.
Right.
That was the first year I did this. Mm-hmm. I remember this draft really well because I looked at every one of the quarterbacks and went, well, it's a bad year to need a quarterback because all of these suck a lot. I had 0 first-round grades on quarterbacks that year.
Yep.
That was Cam Newton, Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder. Mm-hmm. Every one of those went in the first round.
Bad year. And then 2012 was the Robert Griffin III trade. Washington trades up to number 2 to get Robert Griffin III, and then St. Louis ended up turning that into Michael Brockers, Janoris Jenkins, Isaiah Peed, Rakevius Watkins. Then in the next draft, the picks that they got became Alec Ogletree, Stedman Bailey, Zach Stacy, and then there was the number 2 pick in 2014 of Greg Robinson.
Yep, and you know what all those picks have in common? Had RG3 not gotten hurt, they wouldn't have been as good as he was. Some of all parts would not have been as good as he was.
Okay.
Period. You were sold on the guy. He got hurt. That's why that's one of those deals and that's in my article every year. We have revisionist history. If RG3 had not gotten hurt and it had not become just a constant of he cannot stay healthy, he would probably still be the starting quarterback of the Washington football team, and we would look at that as how Washington screwed over the Rams because they got a bunch of guys that wound up doing things in other places. One of them only has one leg at this point. Literally, Isaiah Peed only has one leg. He lost his leg in a car wreck.
That's sad.
I mean, and I'm not trying to make light of that. I'm not trying to make a joke of it. What I'm saying is that you do this assimilation of parts. I don't look at the net in most of these deals don't add up to what that guy could have been. Mm-hmm. RG3, if you had taken his rookie year and followed it on a normal career trajectory, he'd have been a top 10 quarterback in this league for 10 years.
Okay.
That's what he would have been. He was the rookie of the year. Mm-hmm. Then he got hurt in a playoff game that he shouldn't have been playing in the first damn place, and it all came tumbling after. I would still do that deal 100 times out of 100.
I would not. I would not. But of course, I was not a Robert Griffin III fan. And I thought he was the kind of quarterback that regardless of what happened to him, the league was going to catch up to him. Just like we're talking about Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton or whoever. I would put him in that same category. So, to me, St. Louis won that deal easy.
They did because RG3 got hurt. You cannot forecast injuries in this league. You can't do it. You'll drive yourself nuts. Because for every RG3 that, he's a runner and people say you get hurt. Yeah, well, did they say that about Andrew Luck? Because he was actually more hurt than RG3 was.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, do you consider Andrew Luck a bust?
No.
No. There you go. Why? Injuries derailed his career. He never won a Super Bowl. He won exactly the same amount as RG3. And guess what? The best of RG3 was better than the best of Andrew Luck. Ring the damn bell.
Ring that bell.
Agree to disagree.
It's fine. You can be wrong. It's fine. In every argument, somebody has to be wrong. It's just usually not me. So.
The all-knowing. Cleveland, in that same draft, traded up to 3 to get Trent Richardson. Minnesota getting that haul went Matt Khalil, Jarius Wright, and then Robert Blanton, Al Jefferson, A.J. Jefferson.
Al Jefferson played center for the Celtics. I don't think they got him in that deal.
And Michael Mauti. But still, at least they turned that into 2 players that were on that roster for a long time. Matt Khalil was, I mean, he wasn't the greatest in the world.
First of all, they traded up a spot.
As well.
They traded up one spot. I don't really tend to factor those in because the team that took the guy later still took the guy they wanted. Because if they thought that they were trading up to get the guy that they wanted, they wouldn't trade the pick. Just like when San Francisco traded down with Chicago. They knew Chicago was trading up to get a quarterback, and they didn't want one.
Right.
So, I mean, anything you get there is just, that's whipped cream on top of the pie. I do not judge those trades. And there's been 3 of them in the last 10 years.
Yeah, there have been. 2013, Miami trades up for Deion Jordan. Oakland ended up getting 2 picks that ended up being DJ Hayden and Menelik Watson. It's tough.
Played at Florida State.
What's the
net? None of those players were any good.
Right. It was a wash.
Yeah. But Deion Jordan had a much higher high. By the way, you want to know why I don't fall for guys in pro days? Deion Jordan is example number 417. Because Deion Jordan looked like Thor. But then you put on tape, and he looked like Tarzan, play like Jane. He did that in the NFL too, and then he got hurt a whole bunch of times.
St. Louis traded up in the draft to get to 8 to get to Tavon Austin.
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Yeah. How many times did we say Tavon Austin's not good at football?
I remember when this happened.
I think I had been saying that for 2 years before I met Jeremy Greene, and then he said it to me one time, and that's when our love began. That's when our little bromance began. When he looked at me and said my own words to me of Tavon Austin's not good at football.
I've met Tavon Austin. He's about that big. I actually thought about picking him up and putting him in my pocket.
Right.
Because he's that small. Hey, here's a little piece of advice. Don't trade up for receivers that weigh like $165. It's not going to go well. Damn, he's fast, though.
Yeah.
He is fast.
Yeah. Buffalo then ended up getting Kiko Alonso and Marquise Goodwin out of that deal.
They also got E.J. Manuel.
I didn't mention that one because it doesn't fit.
It don't fit your narrative. It don't fit what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they took E.J. Manuel at 16, and everybody knew that was a bad idea. But again, that's another team chasing a quarterback. You're drafting out of need, and it fits in there. But Tavon Austin at 8, that was a little bad judgment call. 2014, Buffalo trades up to 4 to get Sammy Watkins. Cleveland, a team that can't get anything right, ends up turning that into Justin Gilbert, Cameron Irving, and Ibrahim Campbell.
Yeah, none of those. You know what all those players have in common? None of them are good. Cam Irving's played in the league for a long time. That's all I got.
He's a new Carolina Panther. He's doing stuff. He's still around.
He's still a living, breathing human.
Right.
Matthew Hoffman asked me if Christian Hackenberg's on this list. No, because the Jets didn't trade up to get him. And he was a second-round pick.
Right.
These are top 10 trades in the first round.
And
busts are coming next week. Don't worry. We have a whole show planned for busts. And Christian Hackenberg, he's got him a little corner in that show.
Buffalo traded up to get a wide receiver who couldn't stay healthy and still can't stay healthy and is not worth the money that the Baltimore Ravens gave him, in my opinion. Do you think it's going to work, Sammy Watkins in Baltimore?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. He's real fast, and you have a quarterback that books out of the pocket. Yeah, I think it'll be just fine. Yeah. Sammy Watkins is the most underrated fast player I think I've ever seen.
It's because of the health issues. Because
yeah,
everybody looks at him and goes, he cannot stay healthy.
Yeah, but he's still fast. I mean, he could be bleeding out of the ear holes, but he's still really, really fast.
Right. I get that. But still, the fact that he isn't on the field and isn't available, I can't say that was a smart move to trade up to 4 to get him.
A lot of people really believed in Sammy Watkins. I was not one of them. That was the year that I went, hey, I could be a scout. I could do this. And so I started doing this, and then I've put all this stuff on film, and nobody will give me a call.
Then Cleveland, they had to trade up to get Justin Gilbert, which made this even worse, that they had to give up more capital as they were chasing a corner. And Minnesota ended up getting Anthony Barr and David Yankee out of that deal. And Minnesota was going to take him anyway. That's another one of those, oh, you think you need to move up another spot. Well, wonderful. I will take whatever you want to give me for that. In 2016, that's the Jared Goff deal.
Jared Goff.
Where Tennessee turned that into Jack Conklin, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, and Jonnu Smith. I get your argument that they made a Super Bowl, but okay. I mean, it's not like either team went
Titans Super Bowl 0.
Right. It's not like either team went, sailing down a hill after that. They both turned their stock into something. But the fact that Jared Goff is no longer with the team and they had to pay him $1 billion, it made the road a lot tougher.
He led to Matthew Stafford. How many of those players still play for the Tennessee Titans?
It's one.
It's one.
Well,
it's
one.
Derrick Henry. That's it.
Right.
Oh, we're 5 years down the road from this deal, and you have exactly one of the pieces left. They have Matthew Stafford. You have Derrick Henry. Advantage, Rams.
And also the bad part is that all those guys left in free agency.
For nothing.
They didn't get anything.
Cool. You're going to get a couple comp picks.
Right.
Sweet. You got Derrick Henry and the 16th rated cornerback in 2022.
Right.
Hot. Excuse me while I touch myself. I've used that line in the article 3 of the last 4 years.
And then, of course, in that same draft, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to number 2 to get Carson Wentz.
Yeah, tell me what they gave up.
Yeah, Cleveland. Philadelphia gave up a bunch, but yet again, Cleveland really didn't do a whole lot with it. I mean, they did land Denzel Ward with the first-round pick that they got in the next season.
Yeah, one of those picks was Deshaun Watson, by the way.
I was getting there.
Yeah, you're doing it too slow. Like everything you do in life, you're doing it too slow.
Oh,
I need you to pick up the pace there. Tons of fun.
Yeah, the 2017 first-round pick that they had, they traded down from 12 to 25 to get Jabril Peppers, and then Houston took Deshaun Watson at 12. Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
Do you think how different things could have been in Cleveland, or do you think Deshaun Watson would have been destroyed by Cleveland?
He'd probably been dead by now, in all honesty. As many times as he's gotten hit in Houston, put him behind the line he would have had 5 years ago or 4 years ago in Cleveland. Ooh, buddy. That could have been brutal.
Oh, I don't know that it could have been any worse. I mean, he was already the most hit quarterback in the league. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could have started the Cleveland rebuild sooner.
I mean, they would be in better shape. I mean, they would be in better shape with Deshaun Watson than they are with Baker Mayfield.
I was going to say they wouldn't have had to have settled on hillbilly hand fishing to be their coach.
I mean, and here's the thing. Is there Instagram in Cleveland?
Oh, I don't do
that. That could have
I don't know. Brian, you're doing the Instagram thing. Does that exist in Cleveland?
What's that?
Do they have Instagram in Cleveland?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, so Deshaun. So I was about to say, so Deshaun would have still been getting massages. Ooh.
I was literally just typing that as you guys said that.
Yeah, it could have all ended up the same. No doubt. Anywho, I don't want to go down that path. Chicago traded up to 9 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get Leonard Floyd, and then Tampa did stupid things. Took Vernon Hargraves, and then with the other pick, they used that to help them trade up to the second round to get Roberto Aguayo.
Oh,
So the Bucks the Bucks traded back 2 spots, and 5 years later they drafted 2 guys that are no longer in the league.
Yeah.
And Leonard Floyd just got paid $18 million a year. Mm-hmm. Advantage Bears.
Advantage Bears, absolutely. Speaking of the Bears, 2017, you going to advantage Bears now?
Not advantage.
They traded up to 2 from 3
But
to get Mitch Trubisky. San Francisco turned that into Solomon Thomas, Reuben Foster, Dante Pettis, Fred Warner. You finally got one.
Yeah. You also hit on one of the picks you traded because that became Alvin Kamara.
Yep. The second round pick that they ended up trading away, New Orleans took Alvin Kamara with that pick. Yeah. So, but still, it's Mitch Trubisky. We knew that was a bad idea. San Francisco, the fact that they had to wait all the way until they got to that third round pick that they got from Chicago to get Fred Warner, that was worth it.
Yep. Fred Warner by himself is worth more than Mitch Trubisky. Mm-hmm. But you hit on a 4th rounder. And if anything has been evident, that's really rare.
It is.
And think about how many third, fourth round picks we've said here, and that's the first one that I've gone, yeah, that guy's doing stuff.
I think there's a couple of more out there.
There are, and most of them are on a screen with a logo that is on my shirt right now on the other side.
The Kansas City Chiefs, that was the draft. They traded up to number 10 to get Patrick Mahomes. Buffalo then traded down to 27. They got Tre'Davious White, so that was good. Then they got Zay Jones.
Not so good.
Not so good. They actually used the 91st pick in that draft to trade up to 37 to get Zay Jones. That pick that LA had, that became John Johnson.
Oh.
He's pretty good at football.
Yeah. And then the pick that they got from the Rams in that deal, they traded that up to get Deion Dawkins at 63. The pick that they traded became DeMonte Casey.
Oh.
And then with the 2018 first-round pick that they got, they turned that into Tremaine Edmonds.
So Buffalo got a haul. That's what you're saying. Buffalo got a haul.
But they didn't get Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City got Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Advantage Chiefs. Have you noticed that the advantage tends to go to the team that gets one player? Because it's the one player that you're dead sold on? Mm-hmm. You want to know why nobody... I'll do that at the end. Keep going.
Okay. 2018, the New York Jets...
Do we have to talk about this? Do we have to talk about this?
They got Sam Darnold, by God. And then the haul that they sent back to Indianapolis. Indianapolis turned that into Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith.
He's pretty good.
Kamoko Toure.
He's not as good.
Jordan Wilkins.
He's fine.
And Rock Ya-Sin.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, that's 3 starters.
I think Indianapolis did a hell of a job in that. And in fact, the number 49 pick that they got from the Jets, they ended up trading that away to get the Kamoko Toure. That pick became Dallas Goedert for the Philadelphia Eagles.
He's had some great hits. Unfortunately, most of them were to his face.
But that's an instance where I don't think that really worked out well for you.
Don't always work out for a ninja.
It did put you down the path of sucking bad enough to get Zach Wilson, although Sam did kind of fuck you. You could have had Trevor Lawrence.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Why'd you have to say that?
Still might.
I think advantage Indianapolis.
Yeah, we still might have Trevor Lawrence if he keeps saying stupid shit. I really don't care about winning. Winning's overrated.
Yeah, that's not what he said.
I like to braid my hair.
That's what everybody's making it out to be. That he said. That's not what he said.
Yeah. I know. I hope more of these things come out, and Urban Meyer goes, "I like winners," and takes Justin Fields at 1. God, there's nothing that would make me happier in life.
Oh, absolutely. And that happens. You get
the
Trevor Lawrence.
Spice Girls could decide to do a reunion tour on this table, and I don't think it would make me any happier than Justin Fields with the number 1 pick of the 2021 NFL
What?
draft.
Did you lose your virginity to a Spice Girls song or something? What is this?
No. No, but Victoria Beckham is very nice. I like.
Buffalo traded up to number 7 with
Look,
the
any
Tampa Bay
woman that I
Buccaneers.
can deal with that god-awful British accent,
Yeah.
it's okay.
The Buffalo Bills traded up to number 7 in the 2018 draft to get Josh Allen. Tampa Bay ended up turning that into Vita Vea, MJ Stewart, Carlton Davis, and Jordan Whitehead. Look, I get it. I would like to have Josh Allen as
Yeah,
as
you
my
lost this
quarterback.
deal. Period.
But it wasn't going to happen. We weren't taking a quarterback there.
Yeah.
We were looking
Yeah.
for a defensive lineman anyway. So
I don't disagree with you. You got players. You still lost this trade. They got the best player. Who got the best player
yeah,
to do?
I
By
understand.
a mile.
I understand. But it's also taking advantage of your draft position. If there's a guy down there that you can't get, you can get some good role players on the back end of the deal. Absolutely. It's not just because it's my team that I'm making the argument. I'd be making this team if I wasn't a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got 3 guys on there that just that made a great a great presence in the playoffs to win this team a Super Bowl.
So you're saying you wouldn't be making the same argument if it wasn't your team?
Yeah. Stop it.
Lies. Lies. If you hadn't just won a Super Bowl, you'd be going, we traded away Josh Allen.
No, because at the time, you got to also think about where Tampa was at that time. They had just taken Jameis Winston a couple of years before.
And we all already knew where that was going.
We knew where it was going, but they weren't going to give up on him. Everyone knew that.
They should have. I am firmly of the belief of you give up when you know.
If we had given up on him, we wouldn't have Tom Brady. We wouldn't have a Super Bowl. Guaranteed.
It's the most backwards logic I've ever heard in my life. If we hadn't given up on him, we wouldn't have wound up with Tom Brady. You don't know how that would have gone. You got a damn clue how that would have gone.
All right, I got a great feeling how that would have gone.
Tom wanted to play in Florida. You think he's playing for the Jaguars? Yeah,
No.
me neither. Yeah, I don't believe that either.
But if you'd have had Josh Allen,
You wouldn't have taken Josh Allen right there.
that's kind of my point. Where are you going with this?
Where am I going with what? I said they should have given up on Jameis Winston as soon as they knew it was bad.
Okay.
That was not at this point. This was a year in. You still thought he was kind of a thing a year in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about it about halfway through year 2. Maybe in year 3 where you started benching him for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you should have pulled the old plug on that.
And I think it all worked out pretty well in the end.
God, I'm so ready for you to be 2-15 for about 5 years. And you're gonna.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, and you're gonna.
It's 2 years from now.
And it's gonna be so good.
I got some time in the sun until then. Same draft, another trade up. Arizona traded up to 10 to get Josh Rosen.
This one hurts.
Oklahoma then Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
Wow. Fucking A. That was Friday. That was Friday tank brain right there. Oakland turned that into Colton Miller.
He's pretty good at football.
They traded the number 79 pick for Martavis Bryant to the Steelers.
He would have been good at football, except he kept going how high with Dave Chappelle and
Yep.
Snoop Dogg.
They used the 3rd pick that they got from Arizona to help leverage them up in the draft to get Brandon Parker. Yeah.
If that dude walked
that
in the
guy.
studio right now, I would not know who he was.
No clue. No clue.
I'm sure I broke him down 4 years ago, but he is
But I think
slipped out of my brain.
But this is another scenario where trading up did not help
Because you weren't sold on the guy.
because they were chasing a quarterback.
Because they were chasing a quarterback and they weren't sold on the guy. Nobody was sold on him. Arizona went, we've got to come away with a quarterback. Guess what? Josh Rosen would have fallen to you at 15. I said that before the draft. That's what makes this so stupid. Not that the Raiders got Colton Miller. Cool. You went chasing a quarterback you weren't sold on.
Right.
My claim on this is that when you are dead sold on the guy, I don't even think Jets made a mistake, to be really honest with you. They were dead sold on Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, you gave him Adam Dumbass Gase and Todd Bowles to coordinate his offense as head coaches. Secret's out. That's not good in any shape, form, or fashion. Josh Rosen, he was a lost cause. And he was a lost cause from the minute he came out of school, and every evaluator I know, including myself, knew it. Mm-hmm. Oh, Brian Haynes has a real good point. If you didn't draft Josh Rosen, you wouldn't have wound up with Kyler Murray. Use your own stupid, fucked up logic against you.
My logic, I mean, that's the logic that you displayed with the Sam Darnold deal.
I was kidding. I do not credit Sam Darnold with Zach Wilson.
Okay,
that was a joke.
Okay, thank you.
That was a funny. I was talking about your Jameis Winston take. Oh, if we had given up on Jameis, we wouldn't wind up with Tom Brady. Okay, then I get to Kyler Murray this one. See how stupid it sounds when it's not your team?
It's not even kind of the same. 2019, the Pittsburgh Steelers traded up to 10 to get Devin Bush. Denver ended up getting Noah Fant. They turned the other pick into Drew Lock. And then Lloyd Cushenberry was the third player that they got in that deal.
These are fun for me to analyze because they don't have a quarterback, and it's much more open to interpretation. To me, it's Pittsburgh, and it's not close. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, it's not even close. He's the best player in this deal, and it's not even in the stratosphere. True. I like Noah Fant, but he's way better for fantasy football than he is for real football.
Mm-hmm. I think Noah Fant's going to be a fine piece. We haven't seen his best yet.
I agree with every word you just said.
Lloyd Cushenberry is, I think he's going to be a solid starter in this league for a long, long time.
Is he Devin Bush?
No, he's not Devin Bush.
There you go.
No.
Then I just keep...
Wow, winning.
You get the superstar player, sure. But I got some decent pieces in return. And not always does a team go into it, going to have gone after the same guy that they went after. Again, just going back to the Tampa Bay trade. They weren't in the market for a quarterback at that point. So why not add the depth pieces if somebody's chasing a quarterback? And that's kind of how I see what
Atlanta.
Miami just did with the San Francisco. Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing. 3 years from now, if Mac Jones is making Pro Bowls, then this is another in the line that goes, hey, you're right. Because here's what I've discovered. Most teams don't make trades like that unless they're dead sold on somebody, which is why all this Justin Fields bullshit is nonsense. They did not trade up to that pick going, we don't know who we're taking. You don't give up that much draft capital and figure shit out when you get up there. That's stupid. They traded up there with the intention of getting somebody. Mm-hmm. Every word that has come out of San Francisco says Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. I'm going to believe you. I'm going to believe you aggressively.
When they say that Kyle Shanahan wants a game manager quarterback who's going to take care of the football, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, even the draft odds have changed. The odds for the NFL draft have changed after Justin Fields' pro day.
Yeah, you know why that happens?
Why?
Because the public bets it one way. Mm-hmm. That's exactly why that happens.
They got a lot of people loading up on Justin Fields because you can't wrap your head around the fact that maybe this is a scheme fit pick rather than being, we got to get the best player available. Now, Mac Jones may be the best player available. I don't necessarily see that. I think I would have Justin Fields ahead of him if he was on my list. But if that's what Kyle Shanahan wants, then Kyle Shanahan made the right move. They said before they made this deal that there were 3 guys that they thought could be franchise-type quarterbacks in this league.
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson,
mm-hmm.
Mac Jones.
And I think everybody just kind of has to come to grips with Justin Fields will drop in this draft, but I don't think he's going to drop far.
No, because the team's going to be dead sold on him, and they're going to trade up and get him. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that's going to happen. It could be the Denver Broncos. Wouldn't shock me in the least. And history tells us that more than